Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 21 of our favorite guitar Riff-Masters of all time. We've got 30 days here in the month of April in 2023, which means we've got 30 slots for our 30 favorite guitar Riff-Masters, those players who created some tremendous riffs that kicked off the song, repeated during the song. But what do we remember most about the song? Yeah, some of them may have great choruses and great hooks and all that kind of stuff, but it's the guitar riff that we always come back for. It's the guitar riff that we keep playing around in our heads. It's the guitar riff we hum, and it's the guitar riff maybe we play a little air guitar too, right? That's what we're looking for, those catchy little guitar passages, little licks, little chord progressions, right? That's what we're looking for, and the guys who did it the best, or the gals who did it the best. If you could pick some male or female, whatever you might be picking, right, for this. So for today, day 21, I got another team for you, right? Because there are a handful of guitar teams, excuse me, that I'm going to be picking this month. That you got two players in the band who delivered the Riff-A-Rama in a great way. And of course, this band today is no exception. Probably when you think of like the great guitar duos in all of heavy metal, a band that created some of the greatest heavy metal riffs of all time. Of course, you got to talk about Judas Priest, KK Downing, and Glenn Tipton, right? Choosing three. Holy cow, right? Very, very tough assignment here. I went through a ton of the albums that I really loved the most from Judas Priest, and I'm thinking, wow, there's 4 or 5 on that one, there's 3 on that one, there's 6 on that one. I mean, so many great albums to choose from and killer riffs from this dynamic duo, but I think I whittled it down to 3, so I'm going to take a stab at this here. And this is one of those things where my 3 favorite riffs could probably change at any time. I think one of them would be constant on any show I do, talking about great riffs from Judas Priest, but the other 2 I think are well worthy, but like I said, I could probably pick a couple others that are just as good too. So we're going to go for my first pick. We're going to go all the way back to Sad Wings of Destiny, the debut album, the second album, right? And the album where it kind of really all clicked for this band. Rock and roll is cool for what it is, but I think this band really came into their own right here. And there's a bunch of good ones on this album, right? Ultimately, I went with, I think, one of the most underrated riffy songs in their catalog, especially the early catalog, and that's Genocide, right? I mean, that's absolutely terrific. I mean, it's just awesome. Even better on the Unleashed in the East live album, for my money. But it's a terrific riff that opens up the song in a great way, repeats itself throughout. Just kick-ass, killer. Other great ones on here. I almost picked out on a Domination, right? Just absolutely terrific. You got the Ripper on here. Victim of Changes. Great, too, right? Next up, probably my favorite Priest riff of all time. It's also one of my favorite Priest songs of all time. And another really underrated one that nobody ever talks about. And that's from the Stained Class album. Gonna go Saints in Hell. Tell me the guys in Merciful Fate were not influenced by Judas Priest and specifically this album, right? Seriously, we were talking about the guys in Merciful Fate yesterday, Michael Denner and Hank Sherman, and you can hear all sorts of Priest influences on those first couple of Merciful Fate albums, especially from the guitar riffs and kind of the guitar soloing and the way they kind of arrange those songs. Very, very much classic Priest influences all over those 2 albums. So yeah, Saints in Hell, again, another album that's got amazing riffs on it. Exciter's on here. Stained Class is on here, Beyond the Realms of Death, Savage is killer too, right? It's title track, all great stuff. But Saints in Hell is what I'm going to go for from this album. That's my riff number 2. My riff number 3, again, a lot of other great albums, right? There are a couple good ones on Sin After Sin, British Steel's got a couple good ones. Hellbent for Leather's got a couple good ones. I almost went with 1, even 2 songs off of Screaming for Vengeance, but ultimately I decided to go with the title track to Painkiller, which is just amazing because how about that cranking riff right after that opening Scott Travis drum barrage, right? It's so intense, so heavy. Such a great riff from the mighty Priest. So there you have it. Painkiller, Saints in Hell, and genocide. There's no shortage of great riffs. So any answer is a good answer as far as I'm concerned when it comes to Judas Priest. So if you want to play along to my pick your 3 favorite riffs from Mr. Downing and Mr. Tipton. Put them in the comments below, but also let's hear your pick for today and your 3 favorite riffs from your favorite player or players, right? Today was a Players Day. I think I got another Players one coming up for you tomorrow. I actually have a bunch of players coming up in a row. I think the next couple of days are all a team, a duo team. And I think tomorrow's will be no surprise. The next days will be no surprise. In fact, the one that's coming up, I think, in 2 days, many of you have picked already throughout the month. And, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit that like button. And also, down below, we've got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations as well as our merch page. So, yeah, all sorts of good stuff happening. So stay tuned. In just a little bit, Martin Popoff, of course, is going to be walking in the door any minute. So we can enter into Funhouse and do our normal thing. We got a fun show for you here this morning. We're going to be talking about some really cool underground proto-metal favorites, right? Some of those really cool, obscure proto-metal albums that, everybody talks about. The big boys of the early heavy rock or early metal scene, right? But how about those like kind of more underground bands that were doing some really, really heavy stuff in the late 60s into the early 70s that nobody ever talks about? So we've each got 5 bands and albums to talk about, and that's coming at you in just a little while, so I hope you enjoy that one. And then coming up this weekend, we've got Ranking the Albums on Sunday. Myself and the king himself, Mr. Chris Allo, will be ranking the catalog of Danzig. So that's coming up this weekend, and yeah, and of course we kickstart the week with the Hudson Valley Squares coming up. We've also got an announcement of a new show that I'm going to be doing here, a new monthly show. This will be happening once a month, and I don't want to give too much away. I think the guy might have spilled the beans a little bit, but this is initially it's going to be a show that Karen La Preziosa and myself will be doing. That's going to be called All About the Fuzz. So that's kind of coming up. I'm going to debut that show in May. So that's right around the corner. I think Karen and I are going to record a quick little video sometime over the next few days or so where we're just going to kind of give you a little intro preview of what that show is going to all be about. But basically, it's all going to be mostly going to be about doom, stoner, and psych music, right? And a lot of times those 3 little musical genres kind of intertwine. There's plenty of bands that are doing like psychedelic stoner, psychedelic doom, stoner doom, just psych, just stoner, right? So it's all that kind of, all those bands that utilize some really cool fuzz, playing it retro. That's what it's all about. So yeah, and a lot of what we're going to be talking about, sure, we might talk about some of the more well-known bands in the genre a bit, but this is going to be for those of you who are craving some cool, obscure underground stuff in these types of these intertwined genres. So it's all about the fuzz. More info coming up on that real soon. So stay tuned. And till next time, I am Pete Pardo. See you in a little bit at the Funhouse. And otherwise, get ready for the weekend. It's here. Enjoy. We'll see you soon. I'm Pete Pardo. Bye-bye.